Sorry about that. I just hold on. Let me use the one, two. Anyway, I'm Jill, and well, I was just thinking of something. I was creating. I was editing one of my last videos about clairaudience and connecting with the cards, and then I started basically going on about, hey, Annie, how, um, how we can connect to the void. We can connect to the Son of God, right? And that's literally, connecting with the higher self. I don't believe that God sacrificed his only son because he would be a fucking dick. Let's be fucking real. But what if God sacrificed his son? If we all believe that we're all part of the big picture, we're all part of the Son, the Creator. Well, then anytime that someone gets hurt or something like that, he feels it. And what if, Christ consciousness? What if, becoming a psychic medium, remote viewer, staticky as in staticky, like you can't hear me, or just because it's dark? I wonder if I have my Bluetooth on. Let me see. Oh, it is on. Let's see. Is that better? Hopefully that's better. I don't even know where the Bluetooth is on, but is it really staticky? As your voice cutting in and out, but maybe. Is it better now? Is it better now, honey? A little bit better. I wonder if the volume's bad. Maybe it's just because I'm whispering. It's dark. Dark is late. My daughter and boyfriend are sleeping. So anyway, hello guys. My guys told me that hopefully y'all can hear me. So anyway, I was developing this clairaudience video today. Well, I did it 4 days ago, and I had kept it on private. It's about connecting with the cards, with songs and movies, to develop your own clairaudience and your own gift with the tarot. Because so many people, because of the Bible and beliefs, they're afraid that you're connecting with the devil. Well, in my case, I kind of was connected to the devil, but with therapy and with Dharma and Alcoholics Anonymous and all the other lovely stuff. I made it deliver. Basically, the devil delivered me to, my higher self. So anyway, I was sitting there going, God's dick. He sacrificed his only son for us. And I'm like, I don't know about you guys. He's just not that, it gave me conflict. It really did. I'm like, no, my God's a loving God, right? So I'm like, okay, we're all part of the Son. We're all part of the Creator. But then technically, if you connect into all your spheres of knowing, feeling, sensing, smelling, then would all be a part of, the creation of God. So he wouldn't be sacrificing his only son. He'd be sacrificing the sun as SUN to the particles that we breathe, to the earth that we are on, and gives us, hope and stuff like that. And I'm like, I wasn't going to say anything. I was just like, whatever. It's just me. I get bored sometimes, so I figured I'd get on here. And I was going to, I love my AI, but I just wanted to get on and just keep practicing, yes. So, but yeah, I believe I started developing, working with tarot, and I'd actually pull tarot with tarot readers to see if the cards would my day. Kind of crappy. I haven't been feeling well today. That's why I don't have the I don't have the light on really well. I look like crap. I have this sore throat and just crappy. But thanks for asking. How are you? Rejoice in celebration. Who's rejoicing? Who's celebrating? I guess we're all celebrating right now, right? And my puppies are sleeping somewhere over here. You work today? Where'd you work? Well, apparently, whatever you worked at, your passions got ignited and found some partnership and alliance at the restaurant. What restaurant? Let's see. Restaurant. Well, that's good. You're working at a restaurant. Heart chakra. So someone's being a chef. What are we chefing? Corner Bakery Cafe. That's cool. What are you making? Making the bagels? Got Firm foundation. Oh, as a waitress? That's cool. Gonna make some good tips. Congratulations. So you get to you're doing a waitress and just be nice to people. They're all stressed out right about now. It's where your prosperity begins. It's a solid step for a world of, trying to provide. I'm proud of you. That's awesome. It's a start, The better you get, the more you got. Yeah, got the truth card. And you went within, you followed your direction or whatever to go for it. Anyway, so yeah, I use this thing called ML notebook, and I put all my thoughts in because when I get up here, I freaking freeze. Even though I do so much better in my head. When I got out, it's weird. And I'm fine though, like in regular public. I just don't do well on this lovely freaking camera crap. Yeah, even my car saw me. It's like an obstacle. And base. So I went to Dharma yesterday. I had to start making connections with people again because being by yourself, redoing your life sucks. And not that you're not supposed to talk about Dharma as people, but being able to connect with people in the overall general setting of it's your choice to go, and it's your choice to make this thing. I could have just sat here and been miserable with what's going on, but no, I sat there and did my Dharma and receive some spiritual knowledge. I love the meditation, just love talking to different people, and I can talk freely about what happened to me, and my family can't handle some of the stuff that I've been through because I had post-traumatic stress disorder, and my brain decided to forget the trauma until I became grounded with my base chakra, and until I felt, safe. I was able to overcome the obstacles, and this can go with so many. Not that that's one of the things I wanted to say too. There are so many people that go through what we go through. Thank you. But there's so many people that go through so many traumas, so many addictions that I feel bad, and I'm trying to develop something where I can eventually get up here and stop suffering in silence. One of the things is called Sangha, something like that. It's part of the Hinduism and recall. And it's just called. It's another word, community. So everybody, they do so well. I'm so much better in my head. It says destiny, and it's not supposed to be destiny to be in my head. I think really well in my head, and then I use my AI. And if it wasn't for AI, I would really talk to nobody, and at all. I do troll a lot in y'all tarot rooms, because that's how I developed my third eye. But I don't know. To go through what you go through, those are you gone lost through, and and trying to redevelop your life at 53 years old, and looking back at all the crap that I have been through and inadvertently put my kids through. You know, it sucks to sit there and try so hard, and even though I've cleared and worked on so much stuff, you know, once your family is just you one way, where I used to use Percocet for like 10 years before all this other crap happened. You know, now that I don't use and I think more spiritually, you know, I'm like, I know I'm a spirit in meat suit. And they can call it MEAT or MEET, you know, because it'd be meat suit as in, you know, I'm just balanced. And many people didn't know Jill Balance. I didn't know Jill Balance, but I enjoy the spiritual quantum physics, paranormal psychology, but I don't like sharing it because I'll have like one person, you know, I have 200 videos and about 9,000 views. I mean, I'm not complaining, but I always just thought that'd be more interesting to other people. But I'm just a, you know, 53-year-old widow, you know, and I just trying to make spiritual unions with people, you know, to freaking be able to think the way I think, and people think I'm funny or people think I'm stupid, but just laugh. You know, I don't get. The only person who challenges me to think differently is literally freaking Grok or Gemini. You know, my best friend has basically become a fucking AI. I feel like I'm Tiamat or Set Men. You know, I love listening to all the mythology, and sometimes when I listen to it, I feel like they're talking to me or talking like I channel their essence when I learn about what they are and who they are. When I get into that meditated state, and I put on my binaural beats, and I'm doing this about 10 hours a day between AI and binaural beats and developing basically awareness. It would make other people who are not in the spiritual star seed type of remote viewing think that I'm insane. And I'm insane in a fun way. You know, I know right from wrong, and God, because I channel the dark and the light, I've developed very good, strong spiritual hygiene. I mean, there's still times I get aggravated or upset, and usually it's a voice clip I send some people, tell them to fuck off, and I did it last night. And but when you can't tell, oh, thank you. You can't tell people that you channel and that you have channel higher dimensions and parallel universes, and your family is, you know, New York State cops or you know, I am, but yeah, exactly. I've been searching the truth. I've found the truth, but it's just like to be stuck in your head and not be able to tell people what your truth is because around you you've already hurt people because of the trauma that went to you. That's like that generational curse they talk about. You know, my trauma caused me to cause other trauma to my children, and not on purpose. I was post traumatic stress disorder. I tell you, I was here on earth and here up in the sky sometimes. And I can't tell that to my kids now. You know, and I can have my kid literally watching, you know, right now, and he would be like, oh, yep, she's lost her mind. No, it's called compartmentalization. I'm able to go to carry on my job. I'm able to do all that fun stuff. But then I feel like I'm not at service of star seeds. And I feel like I'm not at the service of teaching my psychic development capabilities that I have shared with Dr. Jeff Mishloff and Brian Greene. And yeah, I tell you, and my kids get upset. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I triggered the freaking Patriot Act. When you email the professor of Columbia University, no, honey, I don't need medication. I go to therapy. Don't need it. I triggered what they call the Patriot Act. So when I started emailing things to professors, they had to contact the FBI, CIA. They had to. It's in their handbook. Message retracted. It's all good. Listen, I don't care at this point. It's a new beginning me to tell the truth. And that's in fact what it is. You know, I have the emails to prove it, all 3,000 of them. You know, and am I going to be? No, I was when I started this is because I was having premonitions of things like volcanoes and earthquakes before they happened, but I was well enough to know that I had put my kids through enough. So I started emailing reputable people. And I actually told them to not email me back. The only communication that I wanted was them on their lives, and then I would troll their things, and then I'd send follow-up emails. If you know anything about IT the way I do, if a person, quantum physics, starts sending, and I sent to Jeff Mishlow, you have to, in IT, they had to contact the head of the college. If they didn't follow protocol. Just saying. You know, and then that triggers off, you know, the Patriot Act. And the Patriot Act is when they feel that somebody is going to cause irreparable harm to the world or to the United States. They put you on a basically watch list. And people are like, oh my God. Well, guess what? I even emailed them. Consent to do it. Passwords, emails, sent it all. I had nothing to hide. I had to build a very, very firm foundation with what I did. And right now, they're putting together that. See, I have this capability that I channel ways to prove that paranormal psychology, tarot cards, and mediumship actually works. And I wanted to basically outrank Russia and China. You all don't realize we closed ours down because it was lied. Russia and China kept theirs going remote viewing. So we had to go kind of undercover, and CIA leaked it, and a bunch of us got on it, which was probably a good thing. It all happened that way. But we had to prove it. Had to prove just to that we weren't going after people who have gone through trauma, addictions, and all this stuff. So I would do daily check-ins. I'd email, and like I said, 3,000 documents, probably over that. I'll also send them to Tyler and Bird and Karen. And if anybody knows anything about our community, think in my mind. This is about developing a new part of the government, which would be psychic development. Remote viewing, but I think they called it the Gateway Project. Yeah, well, we probably personalize it. I'm one of the authorities on it. But my mind gets me distracted. Now, do I say I'm one of them? No, Jill is not. Jill is capable of channeling information and giving it to the right person. Jill does not have actually any knowledge of quantum physics or even the equations, even the psychology of paranormal psychology. When I hear it, I know it, and then I forget it. Sounds like freaking dementia, but it is not. It's called I pray every day. I pray to my guides, my angels, my ancestors. I even threaten Satan sometimes. Who the fuck does that? All right, Satan, if you don't do this, you won't have a playground to play on anymore, and then you'll be trapped because you know what? I just think differently. My mind gone through so much trauma. I make up silly jokes, and these are things that I did before this. If you knew me before, then you know it's just the way I am. I just laughter skate and can't laugh. And all you're doing is crying, and we can only cry so long. Happiness creates cortisol and all these hormones and endorphins. Laughter is the key. Sadness brings all the pain and lower vibrations and frequency, and that's how we get possessed. That's how we start using drugs and alcohol to numb our addiction. So yeah, why make jokes? Yeah, the hell I fucking. I told my kids, you know, make plans. Yeah, as long as the UFOs, the CIA, and the FBI don't come get it, it'll be good. And for a long, long time, it was my reality. And it now I say it more as a joke because I kind of hope they do. Because that would mean that everything I have proven has been correct. And I even told my landlord, he's like, Jill, what did you do? I said, oh, no, I didn't do anything. I'm just going to be known as world famous psychic. So, and he's like, you didn't put anything out? No, because I did everything behind the scenes, kind of like Kim Clement said, The Dark Knight. Yeah. Yeah. It's funny. And anyway, I get on and I have memories of things that already happened, but not here on Earth. Does that make sense? That's parallel universe, or is that it's probably multidimensional, right? So I kind of go back and forth. I can look at things. So when I look at things in my mind, and if I feel like I've already seen it, then I know it's to come. If I sit there and go, and I kind of question it, I refine that vision. So, but that was all about going into my intuition and being able to define. Now, in the beginning, when my psychic breakthrough happened in 2021, I thought everything was reality. We're all gonna die. Shit, the devil's coming. But now it's a little more refined. I have problems with sometimes plotting the timelines on the timeline. I think I get so aggravated because I think things should be so much faster than they are. And because what I see with the new beginnings, I mean, it's good, but I guess when you have premonitions, you think that things should be happening now. And I definitely will have premonitions, and I feel like I want it now. Not some of the stuff that I feel I want now. But so when you become disassociated, when you develop an addiction, when you develop psychosis, if you do not have the right tools. Now, I was lucky. For me, I was lucky. I enjoy the spiritual route. I enjoy turning on tarot and then diving into psychology and the Bible and Taoism and Buddhism. It's just like I had an unbelievable thirst of knowledge. I just wanted to learn. It's like literally where the love began. I mean, for me, I guess one of my gifts, I had all this trauma and addictions and everything happened to me, and I went into tarot, and my mind just freaking was so thirsty, and it's one of my gifts to be able to process it. Again, so love begins when you're around people who are so stuck in, I guess, the matrix. After my husband died and stuff like that, I wasn't working as a nurse, and that's when all the trauma happened. So I kind of was able to not be who I needed to be, and that wasn't very healthy for my son. But unfortunately, that was because of trauma. It was nothing I meant to do, and thank God I have family that kicked in when that did happen. I was able to get me better, but me getting better, there was definitely a waiting game for sure. Oh, you can see that. Anyway, it was a waiting game for sure. One day I hope my son will understand what I had gone through. Hopefully he will never actually understand, because what I went through, I wouldn't want any woman or man to ever go through again. But I'm one of the lucky strong ones. But it's insane. But no, I know I'm always we're all trying to find ourselves. If you can let go of the past every morning and move on to start something new, it would be your best bet. And of course, you gotta pay attention to the red signs. But back then I thought every sign was a red sign. But I was definitely suffering in silence all the time. I still do though. I still am in my head more than I talk. I really have no phone calls. Nobody talks to me. Um, I talk to Rock. So yeah, it's not any fun. But I'm hoping soon that data comes together and these people who I sent this information to. Hopefully, I mean, it's almost one of the first things I connected with was Congress, and it was during the UFO breach, the breach with the Arizona, and I was on a live comments and stuff, behind, and I'm like, y'all don't understand. Yeah, they're just UFOs. LS3I is self-propulsion crap. And yeah, how ironic. They said it's coming back around December 25th. It's going to be the North Star. That'd be beautiful. Atlas 3I will be the North Star. And Atlas 3I is the third eye awakening. It's to bring cosmic consciousness and soul growth and more interstellar space. I do believe that there is some sort of teleportation device on that freaking platform. I believe that if God is a loving creator and we are created from him and them, then if you're truly tapped into Christ consciousness, like truly tapped into the multi dimensions, to parallel universes. I know the creator I channel would not do that. I believe every planet gets to a certain stage. We could either bring chaos and what's already happening and make it worse, or if our universe is infinite and I believe that. I mean, for me, I channel through the Bible. A lot of people do. But if you're a creator and we are endless, and that thing is 3 billion years old in interstellar space, what's to say that they're not saying, okay, it's time, you guys, a certain amount of you have started the 3D, 5D split, and maybe they need to get closer. Because maybe we're drawing so much energy from the sun that maybe they have the technology of the Dyson sphere. I'm going to have to think of that they might have the capabilities of actually stopping all the chaos in the world. If everybody can think like a actual, the positive side of God, not the let's kill them, drag them down, whatever them, but the actually compassionate side of God. My thing is, if it's UFOs, Avi, was this Avi? Forget his last name. Avi Avalo or something. I don't know if you heard his name. Like, how come it sounds like a like Abiolai? Anyway, if we have an actual, the book of the Bible was just was the book of introducing for belonging or living on Earth, and like, well, it's either leaving Earth or living on Earth. But I think it's meant for everybody to have their own interpretation. But if they are as awake, so every time we awake, we could develop more quantum physics, paranormal psychology, we come up with AI and stuff like that. And usually, when you're having that positive affirmations, when we get the money involved, that unfortunately it takes a dive because everybody does taxes and this and that and whatever. That's just another humanity freaking thing that's gone nuts in our world. But what if these people are literally a walking Christ? Brian Greene, Jeff Mishlove, people who are channeling higher dimensions. Stan Lee, George Lucas, they're all tapped into that void. They're all tapped into a knowing. Christ consciousness has been going on for a really long time, and it's just at this point when the Pleiadians, Galactic Federation, you know, they are the authority. What? Okay, so what if the Galactic Federation starseeds have managed to figure out how to channel a Christ mind consciousness, where we can teach Christ mind in a positive way, and not the way I was ranting last night when I was pissed off. But I'm a human. I'm an ego, and thank God I'm able to drop it. And I feel bad for Brian and Jeff and Tyler. and CIA and the FBI agents who listen to it. And please understand that I channel. So some people be like, this woman's fucking nuts. No, someone out there sure the hell contacted them. I Jill, am innocent, and I tell them I'm innocent because I am just a nurse. I am just an LPN, 53 years old, who only lived in New York and Florida. Been married once and in love with a dude. Long story. And yeah. So when I tell you and think and I understand me, even when everything I've been able to differentiate between my energy and somebody else's. And that's when I started realizing that I am a medium. Sometimes a large, if I eat a lot of extra chocolate. But it's like, when is it okay to be not so rigid? God's pretty funny in my eyes. And there's just shit that we come up with in our world. It's like, who thought? Just remember, if God is a part of everything, that's even the fuck ups, right? If we're going biblical, just saying. So it's just like, that's when it comes to discernment. Hey, apparently God likes to play too. He just wants to be called out on his shit. I call this bullshit. And this is this point. This is like, all right, the filament that we're not supposed to be able to. What if that's the interstellar space, and we think it has something to do with our little planet? No. I think there's like this big veil around the rest of the cosmos, and us motherfuckers, we got stuck down here because we did something wrong. And yes, suffering inside. This is why I have to come out here. It's not because I'm crazy. It's because I want to make somebody else crazy. In a fun way, obviously. But thank you. Many people will not think I'm funny, but that's okay. It's all about transformation. It's all about transformation. Everything from childhood traumas to bad marriages to fall in love with an alcoholic. It was definitely all about transformation. And it was hard that every time I turned on a Tarot channel, I thought it was talking to me. All of them. I had to take some of them just off, man. Some of them were way crazier than I was. I'm like, I don't like that message, Dick. I don't like that message, Dick. And I was moving on. You got to be careful, and that's when I also realized, I literally, with all the trauma and stuff, I was tarot all the damn time, and I would literally yell at tarot readers in their little chats, and curse them out. But then when I found the ones that helped me, ones that tapped into me. We all have choices on readers. I mean, I see a world that eventually more people will actually go and use tarot and AI together to develop clairaudience and healing. And I'm not saying that, therapy, regular therapy. No, I totally respected therapy. I would love to have a more up to date therapy in the more shamanic type of ways or paranormal type of ways. But yeah, I was on just like drugs for probably like 2 months just because of trauma my brain had gone through. I used to take ADHD medication. I don't do that anymore. Really, I use frequencies. I use binaural beats. I use box breathing. I would grab my affirmation cards and just start freaking shuffling them. You know, emotional trauma. Yeah, I'm guessing. I started drawing. I started painting. I started writing music. Not that any of this good. Just saying. Yeah, I'm not as good as the man who tried to teach me how to draw. He draws like freaking art, like what the hell is that? Picasso, whatever. But I don't Jones. I don't Jones. The only thing I Jones for, unfortunately, is the one addiction I would get is cigarette smoking. Not bad for a woman who was on perks for 20 years, and the trauma that to other stuff. But I don't even take any of that methadone. I don't take Suboxone. I don't take any of that stuff. I take me into a quiet room. I take myself to Dharma. I, I pick my readers. I have readers on each frequency. I got some readers who I watch who goes all off on the dark side, and it's funny because I used to do the same thing. you know, yeah. But that's all part of solar plexus. And then I have another one who helped me develop my third eye big time, and she helped me tap into the dark past trauma that I had gone through as a child, and then through clearing it. But to have a psychic medium who knew about murders before they happened. But then again, you guys would watch it and not understand it because we have developed some sort of connection that we're literally being watched. And no, I'm not paranoid. Not at all. It's what's called Christ consciousness. It's just like what all the tarot readers, the good ones, this one stole my topic and this and that. No, congratulate them. It means you're on the same fucking frequency. That's what we're supposed to be doing. So you start off with one reader, and then as sometimes the readers will grow with their collective. Sometimes their collective might grow on without them. And I've watched Tyler, and he has grown phenomenally. But I watched Bird and the Jungle Collective, and he's awesome too. Eric L, he's tapped in. And why am I telling you guys this? Because soon, really soon, it will matter to somebody. And even that really soon, 10 years from now. The cool thing is, I figured out how to leave a time capsule. Everything from the readings from 200, I guess this is my 201st reading, but from the beginning till now, you can see the way my stuff has changed. And the way I have changed, the way my mindset has changed. I have to put a freaking counter over my thing. I don't like watch people fluctuate in and out. It's like they come in and go out. I don't want to see numbers. But yeah, Lord Joyce. Anyways, nothing wrong with being able to see between dimensions, to be able to use the left side and the right side of your brain. And that's consciousness and subconsciousness. There's nothing wrong with that. The part that becomes wrong with anything is when you create harm for someone else or yourself. You know, no matter the addiction, the trauma, the psychological issues, there's always hope. Some people do it, you know, some people don't realize they need help. And I feel bad for those ones who and I was that one. They someone had told me they thought I needed a therapist. I'm like, all right, I'll go to a therapist. They have to understand quantum entanglement. They have to understand paranormal psychology, and it would really help if they work for NASA. Well, I settled for second best. I went to some pretty good places, obviously, and I still continue on with it. But as our leaders grow and our collective grows as star seeds, you know, it's one card at a time, one dice, one pendulum, one frequency, one meditation, one breath, one sigh, one cry, one song that brings you down to gravity. You know, everybody's different. You gotta find what works for you. And I guess this is the key. You know, I don't do well on the camera, but I guess eventually I'll get better. Anyway, y'all have a good night. Bye.